Hey, what's up everybody? It's Wes here. Thanks for tuning in. If you've got the Ego chainsaw and you're having this issue like I'm having, where the auto tensioner doesn't want to actually go back on the saw, then I've got a fix for you in this video. So the problem is, once you start to turn this knob, it just either wants to kind of push back on this tensioner, or it'll push the bar forward and just get really tight and the chain won't move. It rides really high up on the sprocket, and then when you look at it, the chainsaw is actually, or the bar itself is sticking in at an angle, so you can tell it's not going on the right way. And then the only thing you can do is to back it off, and then it just pops loose, and then you go to tighten it again and it's not working. But my chain spins freely, there's no problem there, so check that first. I also thought it could be a thread strip issue, but when I looked at that and looked at the cover, nothing looked too bad on there. And then I went ahead and took the bar and chain off and then just stuck it back on the saw just to test it out. And to my surprise, no problem, it went right on. I thought maybe it was going to kind of kick back if those threads were stripped at all, but there was no problem getting it on without the bar. And then just to test further, I went ahead and put the bar back on without the chain, just to see if maybe the bar was bent, if there was some kind of an issue there. But the tensioner went on again, no problem. Lined up just like it should. It didn't take but one try to get this on. Everything's in place. And then also the bar, when you look at it down the saw, it's sticking straight just like it should, not at the angle like it was before. So at this point, I was left thinking it had something to do with the chain or this auto tensioner. I spun it all different directions, tried to move it around, do different ways of putting it on, and nothing seemed to work for this. So I decided to make a trip over to the local Lowe's and take a look at what they had in stock for the Egos and see if it's the same fitting. So here at the display saw, I went ahead and pulled the cover off of that, and I noticed a difference on it. It's got a smooth surface that's leading down into the threaded area, whereas the saw that I have goes straight to threads. So I'm wondering if that was like a redo or a remake part at some point, and maybe that's going to solve the problem. But I buttoned this right back up on the display model. It went on no problem. So I'm wondering if maybe that might be the issue. Currently, I was thinking at this point it was the bar. So I was looking at these $30 Ego bars. They had $30 chains. So instead of spending $60, I spent $45 on this Oregon bar and chain combo kit. So definitely saved some money on that, and it is a direct replacement for the OEM blade and chain. And once out of the package, I could verify that these are identical bars. There'll be a direct switch. You just have to take off this tensioner plate and put it on your new bar. And you just have to take a single Phillips head screw out to get that in place. So you'll pop it in here on your new bar, and then just take that small Phillips head screw and then give it a retighten, and then you're ready to go to get it switched back onto your saw. Now, I did all this just in the off chance that my old bar for my Ego was bent or twisted in some kind of way. I was laying it on a flat surface and everything looks fine, so I just wanted to try a whole new bar just to give it a test and see if that's going to be the issue. So we've got our new bar and our new chain on here, and it's doing the exact same thing as it was doing before. It's pushing back on this tensioner plate, and then nothing's lining up. It's doing the same thing where it's trying to push the bar crooked. And I'm going to do the same test again here with this new bar without the chain, and just like the Ego bar, everything goes on super smooth. It goes on straight and easy first try, so no problem. So it kind of left me thinking it was the chain. I really wasn't sure what to do at this point, being that both bars fit, and it's when I put the chain on it's not working. But I did make a last stop to my local Ace Hardware, who actually services Ego products, and they were able to sell me a new tensioner that actually has that smooth lead up to the threads. This was a part that they pulled off of like a warranty saw, so it was a used part. And then here's my old one that actually just has the threads that start immediately. And then we're going to give the old bar a try again with the old chain just to see if it works. And what do you know, that actually fixed it. So I don't know if this was some kind of a recall part at some point, but it tensioned the chain up nice and tight without being over tight. The bar is straight, everything went on. So I really don't know what gives with that. That might just be something that Ego changes at some point. So it might be worth checking out your local hardware stores or calling Ego to see if you can get that replacement part. So I took this thing out right after that, I had it sharpened up, and then cut this whole truck bed load of wood. So again, no problems with the saw, still super happy with it, which I'm really glad because it was working good before. The bar's not getting hot, anything like that. But I really appreciate you tuning in for the video. If you have any questions about it or any issues with your Ego saw, feel free to drop those in the comments. I'll take a look at mine and see if that's something that we can troubleshoot together. But in the meanwhile, thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time. All right, peace.